On sports gambling, presented by Oasis Bar and Grill. Only on ESPN Las Vegas and ESPN Reno.
All right, hanging out here in Boise and in Vegas, getting ready for a Mountain West Conference basketball game. On the road, it's Cofield. In Vegas, Adam Hill, Griffin. Let's bring in Sam Peniatovich from BetQL. Sam, what's going on, buddy?
Is it true I can walk into Oasis, say Cofield, and get a free dessert? That's a thing?
Absolutely, yeah. For at least another 3 weeks, and then at that point, they may say the hell with this.
So there's an expiration date on my free Belgian waffle.
I don't know if there is. I mean, technically, our run with Oasis is going to be done at the end of January, and then we'll see from there. So I don't know if they're just going to give out free desserts because, you come in a few months late, and you're like, hey, ESPN Radio, let's go.
Also,
next time I'm in there, Adam Hill and I will just walk in, take our shirts off, and yell, Cofield! And see what happens.
Well, I was going to say, do you have to say Cofield like in a positive way, or can you be like, Cofield sucks, and then you get also a dessert?
You might get the whole cake.
All right.
The whole cheesecake.
I like it.
I'm sure they're down with it. All right, Sam. I don't know how much on BetQL you're going over the odds because sometimes they're a little weird with head coaching betting in the NFL offshore. But just wondering your takes on, one, the Bears, and two, the Raiders in terms of who they might grab and who they should grab.
Can't bet this legally, obviously, anywhere in Nevada, anywhere in the country for that matter. But I do have a market, Dave Mason's book, offshore in the islands. He's got odds on Bears, Jags, Pats, Jets, Saints. No Raiders odds, believe it or not. I imagine those will be up tomorrow because they just announced the Pierce thing today, right? So Bears favored even money to get Ben Johnson, OC in Detroit. Then Kingsbury 450. Aaron Glenn, the DC in Detroit, is 5-1. Flores 5-1. Marcus Freeman, Notre Dame head coach, 7-1, and then Mike Vrabel 9-1. If I were the Bears, I would go after Vrabel. A lot like I would have gone after Jim Harbaugh last year, but the Bears are so smart they didn't need Jim Harbaugh. Morons, absolute morons. But you look at the odds, Vrabel's minus 400 to be the Patriots' next head coach. So that makes sense, I guess. Bring him home, bring him back where he's won Super Bowls and knows what the fans there need and want. Bears are going to go offense. That's what they do. They went from Lovey to Tressman to John Fox to Matt Nagy to Matt Eberflus. So now that means they go offense. And I guess Ben Johnson or Cliff Kingsbury are the first and second options.
It's I mean, yes. The problem with Ben Johnson is that everybody wants him. Right? I mean, so you just have to compete.
Problem is, we don't know if Ben Johnson can lead a locker room. We know he can run an offense and scheme plays, but Dan Campbell is the pulse in that locker room. And maybe Dan Campbell and Ben Johnson work together. Maybe they don't work apart. We've seen this all the time in the NFL. Oh, just because this guy knows what he's doing on the whiteboard doesn't mean he can lead a roster of, 53 men for 17, 18 weeks. It's a different challenge. I've also heard that the Jags really want Ben Johnson. So we'll see. A lot of guys really wanted Mike McDaniel, and look how that's turned out in Miami. You go to the playoffs and lose, and then the next year you miss the playoffs. We'll see. We'll see. I'd rather have a guy who's coached before, but that's just me.
Speaking of 17, 18 week managing things, Circa Survivor wrapped up this week, and man, I thought most of them were going to get through, and then the Falcons disaster happened. This is where Circa Survivor becomes really tricky because everybody thought the Falcons were a good play, but then they get late in the game, they see that Tampa Bay has won, now they have nothing to play for anymore, and they don't care about your Survivor pick.
Same thing with the Packers, 10-point favorite against the Bears. Commanders are putting the finishing touches on the Cowboys. So really the Packers have nothing to play for, not to mention Jordan Love gets knocked out of the game. They lose one of their receivers who leaves the game on a cart. I imagine that wasn't the most exciting moment for Green Bay. I imagine a lot of guys shut it down at that point because you're going to the playoffs. You don't really need to win this game. You're in no matter what. And you go on the road no matter what. There was a time I took the screenshot. It was about 3:45 Eastern time, so 12:45 by you guys, where all three teams were either down or tied. Carolina, Green Bay, Tampa. I mean, all those games were sweats. And then the other pick was the Colts, who had to go to overtime. Yeah. So Survivor, a sweat literally till the very end. And there was a chance that last entry that had Arizona in the afternoon slate was going to win no matter what. He'd be the last guy standing.
I have to feel, and by the way, a couple of those games, like Tampa and the Colts game, fell perfectly for the people that were trying to hedge out and took the points, and they got both sides. I mean, that's the dream right there at the end of the year.
I go back to my exit week 2 this year, when, of course, the Lions, who never lose, lost to the Bucks. Always fun. Not as bad, though, as the year that I flew into Vegas. We heard about the overlay. This is years ago, 2020 or 2021. I got on a flight on a Saturday, bright and early, to sign up because there was an overlay at the time, and flew in, dropped the cash, put both entries week 1, and we lost because we had the Colts. Jacksonville won the first game of the season, never won again the rest of the year.
Perfect.
It's awesome. Awesome trip to Vegas. Thank you very much.
Sam, do we know anyone who finished in this tie at the end of Survivor?
There's a guy that's part of a group from Midlothian, Illinois, who works for a restaurant, and he went in with about 6 friends.
Wow.
And they're getting a cut now. I didn't do the math, but I'm trying to recall 14 million divided by 8 winners. I think it's 1.7 or 1.8 million a pop before taxes. There is a group that's headquartered out of Illinois, but nobody that I've ever met before was one of the final 8.
Fantasy football, another way to gamble on the NFL. I saw this post up about someone's penalty for losing a league is to go hang out at a bar and try to drink off the time.
Very, very small potatoes, because this is something that you and I and Adam could probably do for fun.
Yes.
So you're supposed to stay at the bar from 10 a.m. to 3 a.m. That's 17 hours. It's a long time in a bar. However, stipulations said if you drink a beer, that's minus 30 minutes. If you drink a shot, that's minus an hour. Very simple. Very simple. We show up at 10, Thursday or Friday, March Madness first day, drink 7 shots, walk out of there at 8 o'clock p.m. That's a no-brainer. That's cake work. That's light work for us.
And we wouldn't even want to leave right then because the games will still be going on. So you're probably going to want to only drink 5 or 6 shots so you can stay until the end of the games.
Mix in a water. Act like you've been there before. Don't fall asleep on the bar. It's very simple. That shot for an hour is cheating. It's not fair. And Rumplemints isn't exactly Wild Turkey or Bacardi 151. Rumplemints is simple. You do one at 10 and then do one for the next 7 hours. That removes 7 hours from your 17-hour punishment. That's 10 hours. That's nothing.
I think you do 15 Rumplemints in 2 hours and just bounce.
15's a lot.
I don't even
That's a lot of
Rumplemints. I don't know if you'd be drunk.
Do you really want to take 15 shots of Rumplemints, though?
Mouthwash.
I don't, like I just said, it's not exactly strong. I'm on board with you. I wouldn't want to take 15 Rumplemints, though.
The key is you're not allowed to leave, and then you can't get all truculent. You can't start fighting. And I got to bring this up because Adam just dropped this on me about 10 minutes ago. Adam, did you almost get in a fight at a recent remote when I wasn't there?
I didn't even know that I almost got in a fight. We were at a recent remote. I guess I don't want to necessarily say, but it's probably not hard to figure out, where we're kind of elevated a little bit above the crowd, and somebody was walking back and forth, pacing and staring at us. And I didn't think much of it. It sounded like he just wanted to wait till the break and talk to us, like meet us or whatever, get a prize. And he did it for about 12, 13 minutes and then walked away like angrily. And I, got off the air and I said to our engineer at the time, I was like, did he talk to you? He said, yeah. He said that he had made a bet on something you had said on the air and he wants to fight you because he lost.
What?
And I said, what was it? Because it probably wasn't even me.
You're never on.
Yeah. That's what I said. I said, it's probably Cofield.
Probably is me.
But yeah,
it's probably Von Tobel. Let's not kid ourselves.
Yeah, that could be true. But he apparently was there. He wanted me to come down off our little platform and fight him.
Oh, man, we need that.
I don't think it's good to do that at a place that we're.
That's a good point.
We're working with.
I'm going to come to the next remote. I'm going to take 15 Rumplemints, come in there and yell at Adam Hill, Josh Allen's the best quarterback in football, and swing at you.
Well,
yeah, I said the only real bet I've given out this year is that the Bills over the Chiefs was the best bet of the year.
Okay.
1-0.
Yeah.
1-0, buddy.
We are at Oasis Bar and Grill, so if whoever showed up, I don't invite them to come down to tear up Oasis, but on Decatur, south of Trop. Adam may be doing one of the next Tuesdays. Can I get to the Final Four? Not that we were pushing anything off here, but you and the guys at BetQL, do you have a lean on one of these games that you like a lot?
We have Notre Dame to win the title, so we just need
boy.
one more win, and we can hedge, do whatever we want there. Adam and I talked about this last week. I wasn't going to hedge against Georgia, and I'm not hedging now. I love going against Franklin in games like this. So Notre Dame wins. We'll hold that 10-1, see what happens. And then I think my favorite bet as of Tuesday, under in Ohio State, Texas. You can get 53.5 at a couple shops in Vegas. These two defenses are legit, and Texas will prevent a lot of those home run plays down the field. They also have a good pass rush. 28-17, 28-20 type game, I think. Ohio State should win, but I do like the under in that game. 53 is a lot with how great these defenses are. There's not a lot of speed on the outside for both teams, and these defenses can handle speed.
What's your favorite lean so far looking at round one here of the NFL?
Bo Nix to throw a pick. I already bet it. -140 at Buffalo.
All right.
One bad throw, one mistake. That's it. That's the only thing I bet so far. I will bet Minnesota. Looks like Circa just went to Rams -1. Minnesota opened 2. Now the Rams have moved 3 points, and now the Rams favored at Circa. I guess I'm betting on Sam Darnold again. Yippee. What could go wrong?
I am a sucker for dogs, so why wouldn't I take a run with the Steelers and the Ravens?
Steelers and Ravens. Steelers money line?
No, just straight up. No, I want the points.
Okay. Well, go get a 10. There's a couple 10s in town.
Yeah.
There are some 9.5s. Russell Wilson. All right, look at you betting on Danger Russ in the playoffs against maybe the best offense in football.
Wait,
Well,
are you betting on Russ? Because there has been some indications he may not be the guy that's finishing the game.
Oh.
yes.
Not committed to Russ.
If you have 2 quarterbacks,
Yeah.
you have no quarterbacks.
Fair enough.
How about Eagles and Packers?
We'll see if Love plays. I think he does. We'll also see if Hurts plays. There's another one. I mean, Love should play. I got Love 90% to play. I got Hurts about 70%. Somebody said if Jalen Hurts doesn't play, the season's over. They could beat the Packers without Jalen Hurts. That defense, guys, that Eagles defense, to me, the story of the season. They go from the worst defense against the run to a top 5 defense against the run. Fangio changed everything there. And they've got some young rookies playing good ball. I like Philly. I hope they make a run. I do.
Sammy P, BetQL, we got 20 seconds left. Are you starting to look for some value for futures in the NBA?
Yeah, I think there's a really good chance Memphis entertains the option for Jimmy Butler to make that trade. And Memphis is the 3 right now in the West. Very good team, plays hard every night. 11-1 to win the West. All you need is them to make a run. Go into the Western Conference Finals, and you can hedge from there. And when you get to Oasis, yell Cofield. Get that waffle.
Everyone check out Cheesecake. Everyone check out BetQL on a daily basis. Sam is on there all of the time. Sam Paniotovich, we appreciate it. We'll talk to you next week.
You got it. See you.
There he is. Yeah, I mean, we had to go back to your fight scenario. We had our guy, whatever his name is, Fern Rose. I do think there's something wrong with him, but yeah, he showed up and was like yelling in the background of the remote, but then he usually just scurries off when the henchmen come out from behind the table.
Stadium Swim, Circle Las Vegas is your spot for the live Thursday Cofield and Companies each week. And don't forget, Hoopsgiving is on the way, November 25th.